A cold wind scraped across the highway, carrying the roar of engines as dozens of bikers rode in formation, tight, disciplined, and unbreakable. None of them knew their entire journey would change because of one little girl standing alone on the roadside, waving her tiny hands with a desperation no child should ever know. No one could have imagined that her trembling voice, "Please, my stepfather wants to take me away," would bring an entire biker crew to an abrupt stop, and would ignite the kind of courage that restores faith in humanity. What happened next would pull every viewer right into the heart of a moment where fear, hope, and bravery collided. The bikers slowed as the smallest among them, a broad-shouldered man with a quiet gaze named Ray, parked his bike first. The little girl looked barely 7, her shoes uneven, her eyes red from crying. She kept clutching the strap of her tiny backpack as if it were the last safe thing she owned. Ray knelt, trying to meet her trembling eyes. She took one step forward, then another, until her story spilled out all at once. Her name was Alina. Her real father had died 2 years ago in an accident. Her mother remarried quickly after struggling to survive alone, but the new man, the stepfather, was not what he pretended to be. He wanted to take Alina away from her mother, far from the city, far from anyone who cared. Her mother tried to stop him, but he threatened her, forced her back inside, and dragged Alina toward his car. Alina escaped only because he stopped to answer a phone call. She ran, not knowing where she was heading, just praying someone good would notice her before he did. When she saw the bikers, she felt a hope she hadn't felt in months. Ray stood slowly and looked at the rest of the crew. These weren't troublemakers, these were men who knew how to protect the vulnerable. Their group, the Iron Guardians, was known across towns for helping abused women and kids, but this was the first time a child had run to them in real time, begging for protection with her whole heart. Ray placed his leather jacket around her tiny shoulders as if sealing a promise. She held the sides of the jacket tightly, feeling safer than she had in years. The bikers formed a circle around her as Ray asked what direction the man had taken. Before she could answer, a black SUV screeched onto the road, dust swirling around it like a warning. The stepfather climbed out, tall, furious, and confident no one would dare question him. But he didn't expect to see nearly 30 bikers standing like a steel wall between him and the child. He pointed at Alina with a fake calmness that cracked at the edges. "She's my daughter," he barked. "Hand her over." His voice was cold, rehearsed. But the bikers didn't move. Alina shook her head violently, grabbing Ray's arm, whispering, "Please don't let him take me." Ray stepped forward. "She says she's scared of you. Until police arrive, she stays with us." The stepfather laughed, an ugly, sharp sound. "Police? You think anyone will believe you over me?" But Ray didn't answer. 2 bikers were already calling authorities. The rest tightened formation, their engines humming like a warning growl beneath the silence. The man's confidence shattered. He lunged forward, but before he reached Alina, 3 bikers stepped ahead, blocking him entirely. With every move he made, the circle tightened. He was trapped, minutes felt like hours, but finally sirens echoed. The police arrived, listened to both sides, and, as soon as they saw the marks on Alina's arms and the bruises she had tried to hide, they arrested the man without hesitation. He screamed accusations, lies, threats, but none of it mattered anymore. Alina watched him being taken away, not with fear, but with a quiet relief that softened her small, exhausted face. After the police drove off, the bikers didn't celebrate. Instead, Ray crouched again, asking softly, "You want to go home to your mom?" Alina nodded, and for the first time, a tiny hopeful smile flickered on her lips. The bikers didn't let her ride alone in the squad car. Instead, they gave her a safe ride home, Ray in front, Alina seated safely in the middle of the formation, surrounded by the loud, warm heartbeat of roaring engines. Every biker rode slower than usual, guarding her with their presence. When they reached her house, her mother came running out, the kind of run that only comes from deep fear and deeper love. She fell to her knees, hugging Alina so tightly the bikers had to look away for a moment just to blink away the emotion. She thanked them again and again, her voice shaking with both gratitude and guilt. Ray reassured her gently, "You're safe now. She's safe. And he won't come back." But Alina wasn't ready to let them leave yet. She tugged Ray's vest and looked up with shy determination. "Can you come back someday?" she asked. "Not because I'm scared, just because you're my heroes." The bikers exchanged warm smiles. Ray nodded. "Anytime, little one." Word spread across the town in days. People spoke about the little girl's courage, the mother's resilience, and the bikers' unshakable stand for justice. But the truth remained simple: sometimes heroes are not the ones in uniforms or capes, sometimes they ride motorcycles, show up at the right moment, and listen to a child's trembling voice when the world refuses to. Months later, Alina was healing, drawing pictures, laughing louder, sleeping peacefully. And once a month, the Iron Guardians would pass through her street. She would run outside waving, wearing the same leather jacket Ray had given her, now fitted perfectly around her small frame. The bikers would honk and cheer, celebrating her strength. The girl who once ran in fear now stood in pride, knowing she was never alone again. In the end, the story wasn't just about bikers helping a little girl. It was about how courage can come in the smallest form, how strength isn't measured in size or power, and how sometimes one desperate plea, "Please don't let him take me," can awaken an entire shield of protectors. It was a reminder to every viewer that bravery doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it trembles, but it always seeks the light. And when the right hearts hear it, miracles happen.